Now, so let us consider the maximum effective aperture for a lambda by 2 dipole antenna. That is, this lambda by 2 indicates the length of the antenna. Now, consider a lambda by 2 antenna placed along the y-axis. That means here, so whatever this portion and this portion what it has been shown. So, this particular part is your lambda by 2 antenna and which is placed along the y-axis with the center at the origin. So, this is the center of the origin. Now, the field distribution with respect to the origin, that is, whenever this antenna is there, we have an electrical field and we have a magnetic fields, and we are need to consider so these electrical and magnetic fields. Now, so the field distribution with respect to the origin O is small e equal to E0 into cos of omega t, and E0 and cos remains as it is. This omega t, what it is here, it is 2 pi by lambda and then a distance from the origin. That is, we have to measure a distance from the origin. Then, assuming Ey is constant throughout the elemental length d lambda. Now, here a distance has been shown. If you consider this a d lambda, for this particular distance, a small elemental distance, Ey is constant, then the potential difference across dy is. That means to say that instead of calculating the electrical field distribution for the entire antennas, what we are doing is that we are considering a part of the antenna that is having a length dy. Then here what it is there, whatever is a field is there, Ey field is there, it is constant throughout the length this d lambda. Therefore, the potential difference across, whatever the potential difference across this distance d lambda is equal to Ev equal to Ey into dy. Then you have to calculate the total potential difference, because just you are considering it for a small part of the length. Now, you are supposed to consider the potential difference for the entire length. So, this is our length of the antenna. Therefore, the total potential difference is V is equal to integration of, so whatever the voltage is, differential potential difference what you are having. So, that is equal to Ey into dy. This is equal to E0 to minus L by 4 to plus L by 4 cos of 2 pi by lambda to y into dy. Therefore, this is equal to, if you integrate this particular equation and substitute the values, so then you will get the value equal to E0 into lambda divided by pi volts present in the antenna. The radiation resistance for a lambda by 2 antenna is 73 ohms and this is the standard values. Now, maximum effective aperture can be calculated from the equation V square divided by 4 P into RR. Now, so in this we need to substitute the values. V value you have calculated here E0 into lambda divided by pi. Here you substitute E0 into lambda by 2 whole square. 4 P value is equal to E square divided by 120 pi and RR value is equal to 73 ohms. And if simplify this, you will get the values 30 divided by 73 pi into lambda square, and this 30 divided by 73 pi, if you divide it, you are going to get it as 0.13 lambda square. That is for lambda by 2 dipole antenna. So, the maximum effective aperture is equal to 0.13 lambda square, where lambda is the wavelength of the signal. So let us consider the relation between the maximum effective aperture and the directivity. And this maximum effective apertures and the directivity can be considered for both transmitting antenna and the receiving antenna. Now let us consider an antenna which we are using it as a transmitting antenna. Then the power UM increases as the radiation resistance increases. Hence, the directivity D is directly proportional to the RR, that is radiation resistance. That is the maximum power what you are having. Now this is the transmitting antenna. So this transmitting antenna is having some directivity. With this directivity, this transmitting antenna radiates electromagnetic energy. At a certain distance from the antenna, you have a maximum radiated power. And this maximum radiated power increases as the radiation resistance increases. So therefore, this directivity is directly proportional to the radiation resistance. Then consider the figure number 2. Here, so this antenna, we are using it as a receiving antenna. Now here, so the electromagnetic waves are coming and so they are impacting on this particular antenna. Now, so as you seen in the previous classes, whatever the power is there, some amount of the power will be wasted either in terms of on the form of scattering or in the form of the heat, and only the useful power will be delivered to the load, and this is the load we are having. The useful power delivered to the load will be equal to P into AM, and where this P is the power density, and this useful power will be given to this particular load. Now, when a system is used as a receiver, that means when antenna is, you are using it as a receiving antenna, then the power supply to the load. So the power supply to this particular load increases as the RR increases, that is radiation resistance increases. Hence, aperture AEM, that is maximum effective aperture, is directly proportional to radiation resistance. Now, based on the above results, that is based on the transmitting antenna and based on the receiving antenna, now we can write it as AEM is directly proportional to D, or AEM equal to K dash into D, where this K dash is the proportionality constant. Now consider two separate antennas having aperture AEM1, AEM2 and directivity is D1 and D2 and the gains G1 and G2. Then you can write it as AEM1 divided by AEM2 is equal to D1 divided by D2 is equal to G1 divided by G2. And you can calculate the aperture of any antenna if you know the aperture of the other antenna. That means to say the aperture of an antenna can be obtained by comparing a system with any antenna whose aperture is known. That is, if you want to compare or if you want to know or if you want to calculate the aperture of a particular antenna, you can calculate it by comparing the another antenna whose aperture you are knowing. Then consider a short dipole antenna whose parameters are AEM equal to 3 by 8 pi lambda square and D is equal to 1.5. Then AEM1 equal to AEM2 into D1 by D2. This is equal to 3 by 8 pi lambda square into D1 divided by 1.5. What we are doing is that we are calculating the maximum effective aperture of the antenna 1, knowing the maximum effective aperture of antenna 2 and its directivity. Now AEM1 equal to AEM2 into D1 divided by D2 and AEM2 you are knowing that it is 3 by 8 pi into lambda square and D1 and D2 value is given in the problem, it is 1.5. So this value is equal to lambda square divided by 4 pi into D1. So in the generalized case you can write it as maximum effective aperture equal to lambda square divided by 4 pi into D. Then the maximum effective aperture for isotropic sources AEM equal to lambda square divided by 4 pi into D. Now for the isotropic sources the directivity equal to 1. So this value is going to be 1. So then AEM equal to lambda square divided by 4 pi. Now consider the electrical field ER at a distance R in a direction normal to the power flow. Now, so this is the plane where you are having an antenna. So this antenna is radiating in this particular directions, and we are measuring the radiated power at a distance R. And here, so the ER, the electrical field at a distance R we are measuring, and where this omega A is the beam area. That is the aperture through which the power is radiated is A. So this is here what are the A has shown. So this is the aperture through which the power is radiated, and the beam area is rho A. Now radiated power from this particular antenna is calculated from the equation EA square divided 120 pi into A watts, where A is the aperture. Then where whatever is 120 pi is written, this 120 pi is the intrinsic impedance of the free space. Then also the radiated power W is equal to ER square divided by 120 pi rho A into R square. Now we will equate equation number 1 and equation number 2. When we equate equation number 1 and 2, here also W is equal to EA square divided by 120 pi into A, and here also W is equal to ER square divided by 120 pi omega A into R square. We will equate it, then this 120 pi and 120 pi will get cancelled, and you will left with this term and you will left with this particular term. Then the fields EA and ER are related by ER equal to ES into A, so divided by R into lambda. Now substitute this equation number 4 in equation number 3. When you substitute equation number 4 in equation number 3, so then we will get it as EA square into A equal to ES square into A square divided by R square lambda square omega A square into R squares. Then finally we will left with A into omega A is equal to lambda square, call it as equation number 5. The maximum power transmission, the physical aperture A can be taken as effective apertures. That means to say that in order to relate the various terms, we are considering the maximum power transmitted by the antenna. So therefore, so the physical aperture we are taking it as an effective apertures. So then we can write it as AEM into omega is equal to lambda square. We will call it as equation number 6. And already we know that directivity is equal to 4 pi by omega A. Call it as equation number 7. Then from equation number 6 and 7, you can write it as AEM equal to lambda square divided by 4 pi into D, or D is equal to 4 pi by lambda square into AEM. And already you know from the previous class, the gain and directivity are related with each other with a proportionality constant. So that is G is equal to K into D if K is equal to AE divided by AEM, where so this AE is the effective aperture and AEM is the maximum effective aperture. Now gain equal to 4 pi divided by lambda square into A. Now for two separate antennas having the directivity D1 and D2, gain G1 and G2 and maximum effective aperture AEM1 and AEM2. So then you can relate it and write it as D1 by D2 equal to G1 divided by G2. So this is equal to AEM1 divided by AEM2.